Ladies and gentlemen, it's another delete laws video. I know, it's just been non-stop delete laws action because he is actively doing all sorts of crazy stuff across the United States, mostly Texas and Ohio. So, I guess that's across. But his content is just non-stop, and some interesting things have happened. He might have gotten a restaurant shut down temporarily for safety concerns, and he definitely got kicked out of at least one restaurant, which would be a McDonald's, and allegedly a second restaurant. Don't know what it is. I'm guessing Taco Bell. That's just my personal theory. But it's not just that. It would also appear that he got two different schools put on a soft lockdown. Before we get into the details of what might have happened, I do want to explain what a soft lockdown is. I'm sure most of us are familiar with what a normal lockdown is, which is you barricade the doors, you lock them all, nobody goes in or out, and then the police arrive and they deal with whatever the situation is. A soft lockdown, on the other hand, is, as the name implies, softer. School activities continue inside the school, and access in or out of the building is more restricted. Common examples of that sort of thing is maybe police are doing a manhunt for someone in the area, and they're like, hey, he might come onto your campus, so make sure people aren't out on the playground because he's dangerous, that sort of thing. And speaking of potentially dangerous people on playgrounds, Chile, delete laws, managed to, allegedly, get two schools shut down because he was on their campus. The problem is, reports aren't super clear on this incident, and of course anything coming from delete laws himself either doesn't make sense or can't be trusted, because you know how he is. He just lies constantly and people eat it up. It's nuts. The first report I saw on the lockdown came from Chile himself in his community posts, and he said the Ironton school lockdown, it was the Ironton police that contacted the news channel and falsely said they are on a lockdown. And then he says, suing both Ironton PD and News 13. So of course, because I suspect that anything that comes from delete laws is false, I decided to do my own research. Some of his subscribers maybe should give that a shot sometime. Let me clarify. He's lying to you. News 13 appears to be WOWK 13 News, so I went to their article on the situation, and it says, Ironton PD says that both Ironton High School and Ironton Elementary School are on a soft lockdown. They say the lockdown is due to a concerning video from YouTuber Delete Laws, whose real name is Chile De Castro. His real name is actually not Chile De Castro. It's Jose De Castro. But we're getting to that. That's a future video. Carrying on. That was sent to a student or a parent. This is a developing story, and we will provide updates as soon as new information becomes available. Now, new information did become available, and the new information was update 1 p.m. on Friday, March 25th. The superintendent of Ironton Schools says that no schools in the district are under lockdown. What? Superintendent Joe Galetka says that the schools are hyper-aware of the YouTube videos that have been circulating, but previous reports from the Ironton Police Department saying that schools were on a soft lockdown were not accurate. So somebody's lying. Somebody's lying, and it's either the police or it's the superintendent. Now, we know which one Chile would choose because we know who he's attempting to sue. But let's dig even further because, hey, I like to get my information from multiple sources. Again, subscribers to Chile. Give it a try sometime. Might help you. And for that, we turn to WSAZ3, who published an article on 10:36 a.m. Access has been limited at Ironton Middle and Ironton High Schools Friday, according to Ironton High Principal Jeff Hairston. Principal Hairston says an individual who has been making some complaints about the police department was reported on campus wanting to interview students. We don't allow people to just come into the school and interview kids, Principal Hairston said. We're not in any danger, and there's no threats towards staff or students. They're on a soft lockdown. Principal Hairston says the lockdown is not impacting the school day or education. All students are still in class. It's a way to remind teachers to be extra vigilant and not let people into the building, Principal Hairston said. All their doors are locked throughout the day anyway. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Because we have the police saying there was a lockdown, we have the principal saying there's a lockdown, and then we have the superintendent saying that there is no lockdown. But wait, I think I have a scenario that maybe will make this all make sense so that everybody is telling the truth. It's a thing I do because I have real-world experience in this, working for the United States Army in investigations. And then we have Chile, who can't even figure out his own timeline of his personal life. Ooh. Chile shows up at the school. Principal Hairston initiates a soft lockdown and contacts law enforcement. Law enforcement arrives and makes contact with a student or parent who was sent a video of Chile's concerning online behavior. Perhaps this.
Yep. Hello? Hello? That's definitely not the This is someone else's car here. Got the apps.
Law enforcement on scene may have believed that the lockdown was due to this video, which established that Chile was a possible threat. For example,
this camera upholds divine morality, that you are a being of God and you should not be abused. You should not be shackled like a pig, whether you got a drug problem or not. You should not be stuffed into the back of a dungeon and then taken to a dungeon where there's no paint on the walls. And like Sarah said earlier, you got to step over bodies because there's no room for you. Because your body doesn't matter. You're just another, there's someone on the other end of that dungeon making money off of you. Otherwise, why would they do it so much? Why would they put people in dungeons so much? Because they're making money off your soul being in a dungeon. I'm just gonna say this because I haven't really talked about my own experience, and so I will talk to you guys about it. I was baptized in the fire. I live in a fight. It's my favorite. If we're fighting, my favorite place to be. I'm not gonna go into the details, but I was baptized in the fire. And I love to be in a fight. It's my favorite. Whether it be a fist fight where I got my teeth knocked out, or whether it be with a mental fight between two people who are battling wits. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite.
However, in reality, the lockdown was merely because of Chile's presence before the video was sent. In this theoretical scenario, everything fits, except we forgot about the superintendent. No, we did. Of course we didn't forget. Remember, the news station didn't say the superintendent said that there was no lockdown at all. The superintendent said that at 1 p.m., no lockdown was in place. But that's not good enough for Chile, who wants to file all of the lawsuits. All of them. Just sue everybody. I imagine Chile would file a defamation lawsuit, but there are some problems with this. Mainly, Chile is a public figure, so the defamation has to meet a stricter level of scrutiny as opposed to someone who is not a public figure. There's a lot of stuff I could bring up about defamation, but I don't have to. We can just focus on the main thing, which is the information false, and is it intentionally false? I would argue no. First, let's take a look at the news station. They didn't say that Chile locked down the school. They said that it was reported that Chile locked down the school. They didn't report incorrect information. They reported they were given incorrect information. And I would argue not defamation, because it's not intentionally false information that was published under your relevant libel laws. As for police, that would likely fall under slander under the assumption that they spoke those words to the news station. Now, was their information incorrect? Was there a lockdown? Kind of looks like there was. But my guess is that the lockdown was based on Chile's presence as opposed to a video, which is why the superintendent said that the report from the police was not accurate. Is that a big enough deal for it to be an intentional lie? I'm going to argue no. We've already established the lockdown probably took place. So all that leaves is whether or not the lockdown was caused by a video or by Chile's presence. But Chile still has to establish that the police made that statement knowing it was false, or that they made it with reckless disregard as to its accuracy. There's a lot I can go over about whether or not there were damages and whether he can do defamation per se, and I don't think it really matters because that one statement from the police saying that, oh, it was because of the video when in reality it might just been his presence is nothing. Because the police probably believed this and had reason to believe this. And they didn't arrest him. They didn't trigger Fourth Amendment, search and seizure protocol, Fifth Amendment nonsense. They didn't do any of that. This is such a little blip on Chile de Castro's life that I can't see a court taking this seriously at all. Not at all. It boggles my mind that he wants to file a lawsuit based on this. But there's more. I just found out there's a video from Delete Laws called Lawsuits plus Deep Corruption plus Sex Scandals involving high school girls and Ironton police in and out of the HS. I assume that's high school. Now, he's been pretty much unable to prove anything that he's been saying so far while he's in Ohio, but I have not seen all of his videos. That I may be incorrect. right? From what I've seen, it's all a bunch of speculation and one-sided discussions, truly. But let's see what he has to say.
If you pull me over, now that I have informants saying that you're targeting me, I will sue you, just like I'm suing K13 News and the Ironton Police Department for defamation.
Few things. First, your audio's off a bit there, but second, I was right, defamation. I'm so good at this. Third, good luck filing a lawsuit against the police department conducting legitimate arrests and detentions and traffic stops. Now, to be fair, though, Chile doesn't believe in Terry stops or detentions, and he's confused about what an arrest is. So I'm sure that's not helping. But yeah, good luck. Can't wait to see it. And let's not forget about informants. Really? Okay, Pud. Sure you do.
So the thing is, though, to you dirty pigs out there, I don't break the law. I'm for law and order. I don't do drugs. I've smoked marijuana in my life. I'll still smoke marijuana. I don't transport marijuana. I don't have any marijuana with me. If I do smoke marijuana, someone has it and I might smoke it there. But marijuana is not illegal. So, you dirty pigs, I don't transport people illegally. I don't break the law.
I don't break the law, he says. Okay, Bud. As far as I don't do drugs, marijuana's a drug, Bud. Oh my God. Also, marijuana is illegal in Ohio for recreational use. Good job, Bud. Third, you'll never believe this, but people transporting drugs generally don't say, "Hello, officer. How are you doing today? I have bricks of cocaine in here. Just it's spilling over my lap. It broke open, and the AC is it's just billowing it into my nostrils. You should really stop me." Yeah, they don't do that. They say, "Well, no, officer, I don't have drugs on me. No, I do not." Shocking, isn't it, that criminals generally don't just find a police officer and confess to them. Usually. It does happen, but usually not. And oh, what's this?
I sent Douglas a cease and desist. I sent Blake a cease and desist. I sent Gracie a cease and desist. If you stalk a journalist while I'm here flexing my First Amendment right, I will sue you. I will sue you. Anybody, if you guys see anything like this, it's called Spot the Prick, who's harassing and the high school students. Let's talk about that next. But any of my internet people, what's funny is, hey, Douglas, your own people turned you in. People who you think are your friend, they turned you in. They sent me this. Blake, Gracie, there's people in your community who are telling me who you are. And yes, I will sue you. I love going to court. It's my favorite thing to do. And if you try to stifle my First Amendment right of speech or harass me...
Oh my God, there's so much wrong with that. Hold on. Bear with me for a second. Oh boy. Is this the cease and desist you sent them, Bud? This one? Official cease and desist? This is illegal. That's not harassment. I will file a lawsuit and list every single person on the chain. That's my favorite thing to do. By the end of the day today, if this isn't deleted, I will file a lawsuit against you on Monday morning. The people of Ironton, the court is now on your side because of transparency. I don't know what that means. This is illegal. This is actual harassment. And last night, I experienced it, and I will move forward with the lawsuit against these people. Please go to this thread and let them know that I'm coming after them legally. Why has everything changed? The digital era is upon us, and everything changes. I might see these people anyway. This is really outright harassment. You foolish people, I can't wait to take your money. Okay, so many things to talk about. Is this just about money to you, Chile? Of course it is. All of your stuff is just a scam for money. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, according to Chile, people from your own community turned them in. Okay, sure, maybe that is true. Then send them a cease and desist personally if you have all their information. You don't have to put it here. In fact, putting it here, there's a good chance they're not going to see it. It's going to be useless to you, right? Your cease and desist is just, stop doing this or I'm going to sue you. And in your own statement, you're like, I'm going to sue you unless you delete it, but I'm already going to sue people and I can't wait to go with the lawsuit. I'm going to take your money. So which is it? Do you want them to stop? Are you going to go with the lawsuit? Are you not going to go with the lawsuit if they take this down? It doesn't quite make sense. A few more issues, though. The First Amendment protects you from the government. These people are not the government. So yes, they can express their own opinions through the First Amendment as to why they dislike what you're doing. So they're not stifling your First Amendment protected speech. They're not the government. They literally can't. That's not something they can do. The First Amendment protects you from the government. Oh my God. He claims to be a constitutional law scholar. How does he not know this? This is the most basic thing. The most basic thing. And people follow him. It boggles my mind. Perhaps, Chile, they are also journalists. And you, being a public figure, well, compare it to being a celebrity in Los Angeles, the place where you live, right? It's kind of like that. People follow celebrities all the time, right? They're just journalists, bud. They're exercising their First Amendment speech and photography and freedom of press to document you. That's all they're doing. That doesn't amount to harassment. See, harassment in Ohio needs a few elements to be met. Actually, in Ohio, it would probably be menacing by stalking, which is 2903.211 in the Ohio Revised Code, which states, no person by engaging in a pattern of conduct shall knowingly cause another person to believe that the offender will cause physical harm to the other person or cause mental distress to the other person. No person, through the use of any electronic method or remotely transferring information, including but not limited to any computer, computer network, computer program, or computer system, shall post a message with the purpose to urge or incite another to commit a violation, Division A1 of this section. So for this post to be harassment, it would basically have to be calling for people to physically harm delete laws or engage in action where he reasonably believed that he was going to be physically harmed or to cause him mental distress. But does the post say that? No. It just says post this location. Like someone might do for a celebrity. Again, bring that out so it makes sense to Chile, because not quite all there. Is that harassment? I would say no. Is there anything unlawful about it? I would say no. So, better luck next time with that argument. Also, why are you filing a lawsuit for this? If this is a criminal incident, right? Stalking is criminal. Go to the police, right? Oh, wait. Oh, you kind of burned that bridge, right? Oh, maybe they just don't have time for you. That would be a shame. That really would be a shame. Huh. But there's more.
Let me show you how today's digital era works. You always pull your camera out and you get their face and you get their license plate. Yesterday, someone was stalking me. I turned the car around, went at him, put him on film, and I will sue his ass. You have to hire a lawyer. I'll file a tort law against you, and then you gotta pay at least $2,000 to $5,000 for your lawyer. Let's dance. You want to play a game? Let's play that game.
Are you playing the game or not? Do you want them to play the game? Because you're saying that you don't want them to play the game, but now you're encouraging them to play the game. Pick a side. Also, that's only if they get a lawyer. They could probably get this dismissed outright. Sure, you could get some sort of maybe restraining order. Maybe. Hard to get that approved for the situation for a one-time incident where someone was like, what a strange individual doing some strange things. I'm going to document that because it's newsworthy and citizens get to be journalists just like you, Chile. Wow! You aren't the only one who gets the freedom of press. We all do. If we have a message to deliver and an audience to deliver it to, you're a newsworthy guy. You're making that very clear with your content. You're all about, look at this newsworthy stuff I'm doing. So it makes sense for people to go and film you. That's not stalking because it has a legitimate newsworthy purpose protected under the First Amendment freedom of press. But you should know that because you're claiming to be a constitutional... He's claiming to be a constitutional scholar, and he doesn't even understand how this works. If you are like, I feel like I should believe Chile, that should be your big old red flag waving in the wind from all that hot air coming out of his mouth. I'm sure there's more, but, I might break something if I keep going. So, ladies and gentlemen, there will be more content on this guy. I got some big stuff coming. Don't worry. It's just his nonsense. My God. Anyway, if you want to support this channel, you can become a member. You get access to videos early. You get some behind-the-scenes stuff that nobody else gets. So if you're interested in that, by all means, there's also an Etsy. There's a Patreon. I put my scripts out on Patreon. I've got some merch on Etsy. If you want, up to you. Like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want more. And until the next time, be good, stay safe.